Alright, you read the title. League completely ruined my life. I feel a sense of embarrassment admitting this, like to be so utterly addicted and feeling helpless. I've broken countless electronics, I've bought dozens of League accounts, I've sucked tens of thousands of hours into a singular game for very minimal return. My life is worse off because of this game. I still struggle to not play it even to this day, and I still sometimes get the urge. So, how the hell did I get to this point? Firstly, I just want to say I've always had an affinity towards video games. When the Game Boy Color, yeah, I'm showing my age here, hit my hands, it was like another world opened up to me. I would spend as much time as I could on it. My entire world revolved around video games. In my spare time, I would draw diagrams of new created Pokemon or Pokemon world maps or roleplay as Link from Legend of Zelda. I was ecstatic when my mom found a Super Mario action figurine so I could pretend to play with Mario. Every holiday was joyous because I knew on both Easter and Christmas I'd get one singular new video game for my Game Boy. But even back during my childhood, I'd really struggle to separate this techno world with my reality and the frustration I felt with it at different points. Vividly, I remember getting so upset at a stupid Mario game that I threw my Game Boy SP and I broke it. And I cried and I told my mom that I fell with it, but it wasn't really true. Even then, I had issues with rage. So teenage years come and these emotions are amplified. But instead of having these ethereal landscapes in my head from video games, now video games have adapted into a social activity. Worse, there's like competition and egos are involved. As like a 12 or 13-year old, we're now competitive. We wanted to subconsciously, my friends and I, we wanted to subconsciously prove we were better than each other. And so without realizing it, now I'm attempting to better my COD skills. I want a better KD. I want to win games. I want to prove to myself that I'm a good player. And so this, of course, leads to a frustration where I'm not that good at COD. I think for reference, in Black Ops 1, I had like a 1.24 KD, like nothing remarkable. So the rage intensified as well. So now I was internally frustrated at my lack of performance, and obviously it would come out externally. I'd be whining about hackers, OP weapons, a whole 9 yards. I threw and I broke controllers. I would fight about my mom over doing homework instead of playing video games. I wanted to escape, but ironically, my escape just kind of brought me misery. And so soon, my preference of this competition transitioned over to the computer. I was always a RuneScape kid, but I started playing shooters here too. I remember I played this shooter called Combat Arms, and I'd get so upset at wanting to become part of a clan and to be accepted and revered for my gameplay. And just honestly, I was not that great. I'm still, obviously still not great. And so one day I punched the flat screen monitor of our family computer in a fit of rage. Yet again, I faced scolding, shame, embarrassment, frustration. But all of my friends online who I spent time with, they were always online and they always wanted to play with me and I wanted to play with them. And so another monitor gets bought and my grades more or less improve. And suddenly, while I'm smack dab in the middle of high school, a friend hits me up to try and play League of Legends. Initially, I was really bad at League. Honestly, like most people, unless you're faker, you're probably not going to be that good at League. But I had so much fun at the start. I'd pick support, and my friend, who was high diamond in like season two, he was like one of the best players. Uh, you wouldn't you wouldn't know him, but he was just very good at the game. He would pick whatever and just carry my ass. And so I met other friends who I still have and I still cherish to this day. Like we're still buddies, but we got connected through League. We'd all hop on and play whatever. I mean, the game was just so exciting. Never before had I just like been so invested and wanting to dominate. because honestly, my life was not dominating outside the game. I was failing out of high school classes. I hated school. I instead wanted to kiss girls, try drugs, and play video games. I was in the midst of a depression in my life, and video games helped me escape into another realm always. Historically, that's what helped me. When nobody wanted to spend time with me, when I wanted to feel a rush of competition and feel like I mattered, video games were my solace. So I graduated early from high school, and with my good testing scores, like the ACT in the US, I landed into the dormitories of my state college. Guess what I did? You really think I had suddenly turned my life around? A 17-year-old addicted to weed and video games was going to suddenly magically flip the script? Nope. Every day was ripping a bong with friends or smoking a magic box vape and hitting the League of Legends oil rig equivalent solo queue. To be frank, the weed helped mellow out more of my frustration, but also dulled my sense of really trying. So before I knew it, I'm just mindlessly queuing games, spamming nonstop, champions, no analysis of my previous games, no game plans, nothing. Just kind of mindless consumption. Hundreds and hundreds of games, failing my classes while maintaining this facade that everything was kosher. Oh yeah, I'm in college, I'm going to law school, you can't tell me otherwise. That's what I would tell myself. And reality hits you, Everything eventually kind of catches up to you. And so my mom found out and she dragged me back into her house and she shamed me for being a loser who wasted her money on my college attempts. So I signed up for community college. I was still failing classes and still smoking weed and still playing League, obviously. It didn't matter. So time passes, I sober up off the weed. I start passing a few classes. I'm holding a job. Guess what? Still League. Still grinding League. Still stuck in gold and only hitting platinum after a binge of Adderall rails. Still facing rage as I smash another computer. What have I learned? Absolutely nothing. I buy more parts. I buy another PC. I buy another monitor. The cycle never really ends. Because how do I socialize? Well, I play League. And how do I feel better about myself? Well, I get better at a role or a champion in League. And how do I relieve stress after a bad day or at work or with my family? It's always League. It's League, and League. Soon I'm taking it out on people in my games. I'm calling them the whole dictionary. I'm losing focus on the improvement. It's just a numbing agent at this point. It's just a fat distraction from everything falling apart in my life about how I feel like I don't live up to my potential and how I'm bad at everything. But if I play League, I have that chance to be great, right? I have that chance to delusionally reach my highest potential or high rank, and then I will finally feel good about myself. But of course, as I mentioned, I'm not good at the game. So if it's the only thing that's giving me a chance to achieve greatness and I can't achieve it despite my best efforts in my head, I'm a complete failure. And just taking a step back now, it's just so sad that this was something that I struggled with and still do, but it's the truth. I attached so much of my worth to a stupid video game because it was my only reprieve in my life. And it was also the only way I conditioned myself to feel love or camaraderie or greatness. These are all things that should obviously come from anything but a video game. But I was just so sucked into the self-destructive, idiotic mess. So then COVID hits and I'm isolated in my room and you already know what happens, right? Instead of weed, it's now the alcohol to calm my nerves. And it doesn't take a genius to recognize that playing a video game drunk is probably going to hamper your success much more than if you were sober. And the breaking of the computers and the keyboards and the monitors, it just continues. And the flaming of the teammates continues. And now my accounts are getting banned. So then I buy more and it never ends because I have nothing else or had nothing else going on in my life. And then I quit for a bit and life gets better. It was actually because they released a champion called Yone that I literally couldn't stand. I couldn't ban both Yone and Yasuo. So I was like, you know what? we're just done here. I'm going to just take a second. But I come back to it later. Now none of my friends are playing it anymore. Nobody cares about it. It's just drunk me queuing into ranked, destroying myself. My friends are aware of my addiction and they give me shit about it. I turn off my Discord activity and I lie to pretend I'm not playing when in actuality I was. Okay, nobody likes to admit they're addicted to anything. It's embarrassing at a minimum, and it's honestly kind of world shattering at a maximum. To alter your behaviors is really simple in concept, but it's difficult in practice. Some of us are very aware of how destructive they're being towards ourselves, but others, like me, tend to enjoy brushing it off and telling themselves that it's just a fun activity, or I need it to relax, or I'm not ruining my life over it, like whatever excuse that you want to bring it up. But I don't have to tell you that I'm ashamed of how much time, energy, money, sadness, anger, and mental fatigue that I have because of League. The proof should be in the pudding. I am, however, ashamed to admit that I still kind of hold resentment towards the company for making a product so addictive to me, I just couldn't let it go. My ego still can't really let it go. Despite all the accomplishments I made outside of League, graduating community college, getting a job in tech, getting a girlfriend or girlfriends, I suppose. I had girlfriends before League, but whatever. Wonderful friends, success in other fields. I kept being drawn to this game over and over, hiding my sadness, my pain, feeling hurt that I couldn't really break into the higher echelons of this game. And so I'll never say that I'm cured of this addiction. I don't think that's how addiction ever really works, right? But you know why I've honestly stopped playing? I'm just old. I'm unk. I'm chopped. That's right, man. I finally realized I'm just so bad at this game. There's definitely stupid, narcissistic parts of me that come out habitually if I play. I flame my teammates. I feel like I deserve certain ranks or whatever. But I'm now reaching that point where I can't really bother putting the time into being good anymore. I'd rather sink my time into something else while I have time on this earth. Because hopefully, by some miracle, I can achieve greatness, love, and adoration in other fields, and it won't require such a weird subset of skills like League does. I hope one day people can respect and appreciate me without seeing some stupid rank next to my username. I hope I find other healthy ways to cope with my ego, with my rage, and with my sadness. But honestly, whatever, all my teams were trash anyways. GG, go next. If you enjoyed this and made it this far, thank you so much. Feel free to sub, as I'll be trying to post some more consistent, good finding stories, details about this life that you and I share. Till next time.